She is on mom duty today, so we will miss her, but we'll have a recording for her. So with that said, let's come onto the back and begin the check-in. What all is happening within this piece of equipment that we inhabit for such a short period of time? I invite you to close your eyes and then listening. And I find that I listen with my breath. What's a little chatty, a little tense maybe. How does the body rest? What's touching the floor? And what's pulling away from the floor? Is that even on both sides? And as you did come to rest on your back, before we change anything, just notice, did you place your body with the palms facing down or up? And that just gives us a little clue about the shoulders. If there is tightness across the pecs, then we tend to have more internal rotation of the upper arm bone, and meaning we place our hands facing down as a natural placement. Now let's bend up the knees and also just investigate, would we like anything under our necks today? So if the chin pulls away from the chest, I invite you to support your head, just so there is not a jamming. And how do you know? Does it feel like the shoulders are pulling up towards the sky rather than laying flat? Again, those pesky pecs might be a little snug. And so just try that with me. Pull the shoulders up. Notice how the chin begins to drift back and how the back of the neck begins to congest. And as you relax the shoulders down, how the head slides back into a more neutral position. So over time, somatics and yoga for that matter is like vitamins. It works best if applied regularly. Let's place our hands on our lower abdomens and begin to settle into the diaphragmatic breathing. Inhaling and belly expands, and exhaling, belly relaxes down. Invite the out-breath to be slightly longer than the in-breath. Inviting the nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system. The rest and digest. The sympathetic nervous system is where we often build tension. So as the out-breath slowly lengthens out, is there a sense of a little bit more ease? And breathing in and out through the nose. It's becoming clear through a lot of recent research that we are slowly turning into mouth breathers, causing a whole slew of things. That would be the technical term. The nose not only filters and warms the air, but when it travels through the sinus cavities, that changes the air and it helps balance the nitric oxide in our system so that oxygen, CO2, oxygen, nitric oxide, when we are imbalanced in this, we begin to tighten the bronchi, we begin to tighten around the heart and the lungs in general. So our breath becomes more labored and in turns more shallow, and it can become a catch-22. So a lot of tension that we hold around the neck and the shoulders may simply be in response to our habitual breathing patterns. Now maintaining awareness of your in-breath and let not just the belly expand, but can you create a sense of cylindrical so that you're expanding through the back, the sides, and then relaxing the arms a little bit out from the body. Adding to the diaphragmatic breathing, we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. So let's take a belly breath in and shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. It's a little counterintuitive. And as you exhale, draw the shoulders down and relax. Take a neutral breath in and out. And we'll do that again. Inhaling belly breath, shrug the shoulders up. And exhale, slide the shoulders down. And relax. One more time. Sliding shoulders, belly breath. We're literally stretching our lungs right now. And sliding down, contracting, releasing all of the air in the lungs, and then relax. Easy breath, in and out. We're going to slide the right leg out. Keep the left leg bent. Slide the right arm up. That's at a comfortable place. So not maybe straight back, but where you can rest completely on the floor. We're going to keep the left leg to hold the spine so it doesn't overarch, because if the psoas are so tight, the spine is going to overarch. You're going to want to keep a little bit of a sensation of relaxation or flattening of the spine. But again, don't overdo any of this. Let's just press up through the right heel. We know this sensation. And invite your right hip down with the heel. So a little bit of a hip slide, like your pelvis became a lazy Susan. So sliding it on the sacrum without listing to one side. So it's purely a horizontal movement. Gentle little leg and hip slides. Let's do one more. And I invite you to close your eyes so you can be fully on the inside. Just rest into the sensations. This is what helps train that motor cortex, the mind, the brain part, so it knows what body parts we're using, how we're using them. Now let's reach back through the right arm, stretch the fingers, and relax the arm. Let your head just roll, be completely passive as you do this. Stretch out through the hand, straightening the elbow completely. And just let it slink back. We'll begin to invite the rib cage along. Relax. Reaching back. We'll make it easy. Gentle effort. No strain. Let's begin to add the right leg. Reaching back, reaching down. So the whole right side now gets a little length. The ribs opens. Relax. Invite in a little awareness and support on your left waist. What happens if you contract here to facilitate the elongation? Sensing. Part of you is doing the movement, another part is observing. And then slowly moving. Let's do a couple more times. And then after the next one, sliding the arm down, sliding the leg out. The left leg slides out and just feel right side, left side. And pause and sense while I go find out why my phone just turned on and started chatting from a recording. So I'll be right back. Because Susan Haley was going to keep talking for a whole hour. She is one of my teachers, and she just did 9 weeks on breath. But I didn't want to listen to her while we were doing this. Let's bend up the right leg. Left arm goes up. And begin again just with the left heel, pressing it out. And relax. Pressing the heel out and relax. So we often do this with straight legs. Does it make a difference when you bend up the right leg? Begin to invite the hip down. Difference meaning, are you able to keep a little bit more neutrality in the pelvis so it doesn't tip down or forward towards the feet, jamming or creating more tension around L5, S1, so where the spine and the sacral joint connect. There's a lot of wear and tear in this area. So keeping the lumbar spine long, not overarched, as you slide the left heel and leg out. And then let's let that go. And then sliding the left arm back a little bit longer. Sliding it back, stretch the fingers. And let that go. And we know the connective tissue surrounding the heart and lungs is also the same we have in our arms and hands. So letting that get a little bit more space. And then when maybe this time or next, begin to take the ribs back with you. So reaching back through your left arm and relax. Take the ribs So the whole side chest begins to lengthen with a forward head posture, kyphosis. The ribs close up like the old style roll top desk. It's just closed together. So here we want to open, spread the ribs apart. Let's begin to add your left leg again. Exploring that. Is it easy? If it's not easy, how can you make it easy? Maybe by creating the contraction on the right side, just a gentle drawing together of hip and ribs. Back and forth. Letting it lengthen back out, but not in a forceful, stretching way, in a curious, exploratory way. We'll do that one more time. And then relax the arm down, slide the right leg out. And pause. What has changed since the first awareness inquiry? We'll slide the legs up again. And we'll take the hands behind the head. Let's inhale and arch. And exhale and flatten. Squeeze the elbows in as you flatten. And then inhaling, relax the elbows down. So not curling up quite yet. I'm going to get a little bit of release on the pecs first. Let's inhale and arch again. Exhale, flattening, draw the elbows in. And as you inhale, slowly release the elbows down. It's back to neutral. Do they travel evenly? We'll do it again. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten, draw the elbows in, give them a little squeeze. Now let's lift the head. A little curl, lowering the head down. And then slowly lower the elbows down. Keep them wide, reaching out through the elbows as you slowly lower down. Notice those little jumps and jitters. Once down, let everything relax. And we repeat. Well, arch on the in-breath. Exhale, flatten, draw the elbows in, and then curling up. And then slowly rolling vertebra by vertebra down. And releasing the elbows out, lengthen out into the elbow tips. So you draw as big an arc as possible. Buffer breath. And then take your left knee in. Holding it with the left hand. This is for the diagonal. And that is really phenomenal at getting our shoulder, the ribs to release a little bit more. So let's inhale and arch again. Exhale, flatten, and then draw up diagonally. Right elbow, left knee, coming back down. Let's take a buffer breath. And then inhale, let's arch. And exhale, flatten. And curling up diagonally. And slowly release. Buffer breath. And one more time. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, flatten. Curling up. So it's not a huge head lift. The head is well supported in the hand. No strain in the neck. Lowering down. And then releasing. Left foot, switch out the hands onto the right side. Inhaling, arch. Notice the sensation in the neck as you arch. That's part of the secondary breathing, the scalenes and the sternocleidomastors, those ropey dudes in the neck. So they get a little bit of an invitation to lengthen out, curling up on the out breath, releasing down on the in breath. Full breath in between. And then repeat. Arch. Flatten. Curling up. And releasing all the way down. Buffer breath. And one more time. Arch. Flatten. And up we go. Are the movements smooth or the jerky? Both on the contraction and the release. So notice where the jerkiness may reside. Let's take the right hand back up under the head. A little bit of flattening in the low back. So now just the neck muscle. So place that teacup on your forehead. Take a breath in and an exhale. Lift the head straight up. It's not a big lift. And slowly lower down. If this hurts your neck, then back off, back off, back off. These movements can also be done isometrically, where instead of lifting against gravity, we can press into either the heel of the hands on the forehead for the lift, and press the head down into the floor. So you'll find the same thing. Now here we're going to turn the head to the right. Slide your teacup onto your left temple. And then take a breath in. We're going to arch here. Exhale, flatten the back. Now lift the head straight up. So shoulders is not a curl. It's just the neck. And then we release down slowly. It's not a big move. Not a big move. So resist the urge to engage the six-pack, the abdominis rectus, and keep the movement in the neck. Let's do this one more time. These are powerful. Take an inhalation, arch. Exhale, flatten. And then lift the teacup towards the sky so the shoulders don't lift. And lowering down. Very slowly, turn your head to the other side. Don't lift it, just roll it. And then inhale, we're going to arch again. Exhale, flatten. Teacup on the temple, lift the head. And slowly, slowly, slowly lower down. How does this side feel compared to the other side? Now let go of all effort. And let's repeat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. Teacup, lift straight to the sky. And slowly, slowly, slowly lower down. Buffer breath. And slowly roll the head back to neutral. Still teacup on the forehead, so we're going to bookend it. Inhaling an arch. Exhale, slight flattening here also. And then I'll lift. Chin or teacup towards the sky. Lowering down the neck flexors. Let them release long. And we'll take the arms out to the sides. Reaching out through the fingertips. And keep your eyes closed. So we're going to use our proprioception. I can't even say it right now. I couldn't on Monday either. That sense where we know where our bodies is in space. I'm going to count to 15 as you slowly lift the arms up. And at 1-ish, do the palms come together. Keep a slight flattening in your back as you begin to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So steepling it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Are your palms touching? So I said 1, I know. The other direction is what we went in. Did they come together centered, or was one in front of the other? So that just tells us something about how our brain sees our body in space. Now draw the shoulder blades towards the floor and then lift them up again. Let's do that one more time. Shoulder blades towards, together, shoulders towards the floor. And then lifting up, some protraction. Let's take the right leg, cross it over the left. And now draw the arms and the nose to the left, knees to the right. It's not a big movement. Keeping the hands lifted towards the sky, palms together, so not slidey hands. Unsticking. Again, the thoracic spine. By giving it a little bit of a wringer up. Knees opposite of arms, back and forth. Nose following hand. And then as you come up to center, switch across off the legs and take it to the other side. Knees left, so left leg on top, arms right. Moving the arms and legs equidistant from the center. And notice, is this side, again, the easier side, or is this where there feels less more restriction? Easy. Back and forth. Nose and hands traveling together. Knees opposite. Do one more. And as you come up, let's unhook the legs. Reaching again the fingertips to the sky, and this time again, I'll count. 15. And I'll count down this time. On 1, does the back of the hands come to the floor? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything come down, everything pulls. And now let's roll on to the right side. And you can use your right arm for the head. You can also use a blanket. So have your neck neutral so it's not being forced in every cranked position. These itty-bitty little vertebrae, they get irritated. Rest your left arm on your hip. So straightening the arm completely. So it's just long, hanging down. Think of your movement from all arm movement originates from the shoulder blade. So keep your mind in the shoulder blade. As we begin to roll the shoulder back, meaning moving the shoulder blade towards the spine, and the palm comes to face to the sky. And then rolling it back. Roll the shoulder back, and you feel the shoulder blade moving towards the spine. And then roll it back. So the arm is just lying on my hip. Go back and forth. Rolling the arm out. So we've been working with the rotator cuff tendons when we add rotation as we are now. Is it an easy move? Back and forth. Play a little bit with the move. So instead of going maybe straight back, draw the shoulder back down a little bit so the arm reaches down a little bit further. I'm checking in with all the different muscle fibers. We have I think the number is a gazillion different variations of how we can use our body. So if we change it just a minute amount every time we execute the movement, we maintain access to that gazillion. So we're playing with all the different angles that we can do. And then come back to neutral and just let the arm rest. And then rolling the shoulder forward. Rolling over the thumb. Rolling the shoulder forward. So the whole arm rolls inward. So this is what I was describing in the beginning. If these muscles are tight, when we come to lay on our back, we automatically place our palms down. Rolling the arm in. That's the pec majors. Connecting the arm bone to the ribs and the sternum. Now can you begin to play again with the different angles? Going down a little bit towards the sternum, tip of the sternum. It has a really funny name, which now, of course, I can't remember, so we'll have to ask Dr. Google later. There's just a little dip that hangs out at the bottom of the sternum. It's like the creator didn't know how to end it, so it just kind of left that hanging there thinking, well, maybe I'll use it later. Maybe roll it more towards the collarbone. Checking in with all of these fibers, spindles is the name. Each little muscle fiber gets a little squeeze, a little hello. Feel the shoulder blade moving back and forth on the spine, moving a little bit further away as you roll the shoulder forward, and then it returns to neutral. Do that one more time. And then let's draw the arm down. So shoulder blades are pulling down and relax. Down the back. Relax. The lower and middle trapezius. That their job is to keep the shoulder blades lower, but they are woefully underpowered compared to the upper trapezius. That oftentimes they just kind of give up. I'm like, yeah, I'm going on vacation. So let's check out the upper trapezius. Draw your shoulder towards the ear, and if it's available, lift your ear towards the shoulder. And lower down. Ear towards shoulder, shoulder towards ear. So we get some of these stringy little neck strands. And now maybe draw more towards the chin, towards the chest. So you're looking down a little bit. That's a different angle to use. Where is the sticky stuff? Maybe draw the back of the head towards the shoulder. What changes with each movement? Remember, less is more. Then relax. Everything cools. And now let's put all of this together. And to roll the shoulder backwards, take the rotation of the arm with you, rolling it out, and we stretch it down and begin to roll the arm forward. So the mind is keeping an eye on the shoulder blade, but also the arm. So this is adding a little bit more layers to this movement when we add the arm rotation. So that is the rotator cuff muscles. Notice, where is it jumpy? And then if you find an area that's sort of seems like it belongs to somebody else's body, stay there and go back and forth with little movement. Little movement. Play with that area. So move slow enough, mindfully enough, where you are aware. So the movements are smooth, easy, and pain-free. And then pause. And just slowly roll over onto your back. Pausing, breathing, sensing. How does the right side, left side, how are they different? And then we'll roll over onto the left side. I'll spin about so I can see you. Take a moment to sit up comfortably. So you're right up on the side, head rests comfortably. And then we begin by rolling the shoulder back so the palm comes to face, relaxing that. So in addition to the rotator cuff that facilitates the rotation, we are also talking to the rhomboid. And the rhomboids, muscles between the shoulder blades and the spine, that facilitates the contraction. When the upper trapezius has overpowered everything, that we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, the rhomboids have gone on vacation along with the lower and middle trapezius. So this gentle work begins to waken them up. When we contract and then release a muscle, we open the gates for the blood to flow into the tissue again. A muscle that's held in a contraction, it doesn't have very good circulation. It begins to atrophy. So it's like undamming what they do in the rice fields so that everything flows freely. The prana, the nervous signal, motor nerves and sensory nerves. Again, in a muscle that's held in a contracted state, eventually stops signaling. The brain just doesn't hear it, as in with my client. So waking it up again. Allow your body to rehabilitate itself. It's designed to do that. Let's go in the other direction. Roll the shoulder in and relax. Back and forth. The side of the body, that's the dominant side, tends to have more tension because the brain is saying, well, you're just going to use it again. So I'm going to keep it on sort of a low idle. So you don't have to start it up. And that does facilitate easy response. But again, that low idle can just get higher and higher. So let the contraction be sensed and then the release be sensed. And then let it come back to neutral. And then now the lower and medium trapezius, stretch the arm down. Does the shoulder blade slide down the back? So that's a funny joint. Doesn't have an anchor in place like most other joints, like the upper arm bone into the shoulder joint, which says that shoulder joint is part of the shoulder blade. But the shoulder blade itself, it just slides and glides. It doesn't anchor on another part. And if we stop moving the shoulder blade when we use our arms, the connective tissue, it begins to fuse all the way around it. We may also have had shoulder surgery that has left some adhesions. We may have experienced a frozen shoulder. All right, let's begin to move in the opposite direction. Keeping the arm again passive and just slide the shoulder up and down. Mighty trapezius. Sliding it up. And then maybe lift the head if it's available, if it's pain-free. Shoulder blade up, head lift. And again, playing with the different angles, make the movement a little bit different. Whether you're looking up or down, maybe a little rotation. I know it's a long list to check off a gazillion movement patterns. We're just in here doing a little bit of spitballing. All right, let everything rest. And then let's roll over onto the belly. And here, we talked about it previously. If you find that your face really gets smushed into the floor when you turn the head to one side, then take a blanket under your chest so that you lay a little higher under your chest. Have your arms out to the sides, palms on the floor. Gonna make this super easy. A little bit of spiking down of the hips as you inhale, lift the head up, looking over your right shoulder, and then draw the chin towards the chest and slowly turn and look towards your left arm and lowering down. Everything cools. Then we repeat. Lifting the head as if you're looking over your left shoulder, but then dip the chin towards the chest and slowly turn, looking to the right arm, lowering down. Now lifting your right elbow. Lift the right elbow. And then lift the head. Looking over the right shoulder. So my right arm begins to straighten. And then I slowly lower back down, head down, elbow down. Everything relaxes. And let's do that again. Inhaling, hips are pressing down gently. Lift the elbow, lift the head, looking over the right shoulder. Slowly lowering down, head first, then the elbow. Everything pulls. And we'll do it one more time. Elbow lifts. Shoulder blades begins to slide towards the spine as we lift the head. And then slowly releasing the head and the elbow. Transferring to the other side, let's lift the head again. Tuck the chin, turn the head, and lowering down. And then lifting the left elbow. And then lift the head, looking over the left shoulder. And slowly releasing down, head first, then the elbow. And then repeat. Lift the elbow. And then lift the head, looking over the shoulder. Lowering back down, head first. Then the elbow. Offer breath. One more time. Lift the elbow. As the shoulder blade slides towards the spine, how you can create a little bit more rotation, looking up, back, and releasing down. And then lifting the head again. Turn back only towards center. Take both hands to center and lower the forehead on the back of the hands. Tuck the toes under for our Cobra Crocodile. Inhale, press the heels back. And then lift the head. Lengthen from belly button to the heart. And exhale, lowering down. Everything pulls. And we'll do it one more time. Tuck the toes, creep them to the nose. Inhale, press the heels back. And lift the head. Belly button towards the spine. So we're moving the ribs away from the hips. And slide the feet back as we lower down. Everything pulls. And then slowly find your way over onto your back. Coming onto your back body. Stretch the legs out. Relax your body. Sensing what is touching the floor. Right side, left side. Ease versus dis-ease. Are there areas that are still contracted, tense? Using the breath is the gateway to release. Movement, prana, life force. Feeling it in the palms of your hands, your feet. Sense of tingling aliveness. Constant movement within. Breath, blood, nerve signals. It's a busy place. Our job is to facilitate easy flow so nothing gets stuck. Wiggling fingers and toes. Bend up your knees. Rock the knees from side to side. Rolling all the way over onto one side, right or left. Pause. And then before you push up, make a mindful commitment to using your arms and hands, but keep your gaze, keep your nose towards the ground so the neck stays relaxed, that the head is not like a jack in the box, that whoop. So can you let the trunk push up and then the head rises last? And close, chanting Om. The sound that heals. And the is part of the hum seed sound for the throat chakra. So a lot of congestion in here causes a lot of congestion in here. So humming, singing, and of course with these practices, mantras are really powerful ways of releasing what is stuck. Let's do 3 Oms. Take a deep breath in. Bowing your head towards your heart. Pause and be. And we draw the gaze up. Thank you. Namaste.